You guys hear that music? Oh, you know it's Labor Day here in New York City. Everybody is turned up. I smell the barbecue. And, oh my God, is that a bee? I can't. You know what? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Labor Day 2017. Happy Labor Day. Today we are going to talk about me being back on reserve. I know, you heard it right. We're going to talk about my beautiful trip to Santiago, Dominican Republic, and we're going to talk about flight attendant hiring. We're going to get into the nitty gritty, the real deal of flight attendant hiring. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. I'm on the rooftop and I am up here to relax. I am not working, but I did work today. So I know you guys are probably looking at me like, wait a minute, what? Okay, hold on. It's just so bright out here. So I'm trying to... Alright. I know you guys are probably looking at me like, why? Oh, there's a plane. Hold on, before we get into this. Wait. Where is it? You guys see it? Look at that. Love being up here and able to see the planes. How cool is that? What else do we see around here? Today is Labor Day, so, you know, it's just, there's like lots of music going on. I smell barbecue. Cars parking. Nothing great going on the block today. But, do smell freaking barbecue, and I would love to have some. Let's creep on some people. There's no one to creep on. So weird. Anyway, guys. Okay. So, the reason you see me in hair, makeup, all that good stuff is that I actually got back from... Okay, there we go. Lighting. Yes. Okay. I got back from a trip this morning-ish. Well, I got home at like noon. And, oh my God, there's another plane. Is that Southwest? There's all these planes around here, so when I sit up here, I'm like, oh my God, a plane. But, point in case is that I got back from a trip earlier, and I wanted to come and talk to you guys. If you guys are on my Snap, then you know that I was in Santiago, Dominican Republic, yesterday. Yes, that is Southwest. Hey, Southwest. I was in Santiago and I had an amazing time. But I first want to give you guys the backstory on how I got this trip and all the bits and pieces of this trip. But if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, which is down there somewhere. And then if I'm able to keep it real with you guys, like if you like it when someone keeps it real, I want you to thumbs up this video right now, because we're about to get into the real deal. So guys, as many of you have asked, and I've told you before, we are able to get holidays off. I had the holiday weekend off, like the long weekend. I believe I was off from the 1st. No, I got back from LA on the 1st, so I was off 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And you know, I like to bring my fiance away on like long weekends, so I looked at different trips and I looked at the flight loads, and I was like, you know what, first of all, I'm trying to take my hand grip off because my arm is starting to hurt, because we about to get into it, y'all. So I was like, I want to take my fiance away, so I looked at various trips. I mean, I looked at Europe, and we were going to do Amsterdam out of Newark, because that's what I prefer. I like the layover hotel there better. We were going to do Amsterdam out of Newark. That didn't look, it looked good going in, but not coming back. And you know, people have to go to work, you know, so I didn't want to do Paris. We did Paris last year for Labor Day, so I wanted to do something different. You know, we are island girls, we love it. So I saw Santiago, and someone had it posted for drop, but they had to post it for drop, but I didn't want to straight pick it up, because I'm like, listen, maybe we can swap. Like, if I, you know, swap them one of my one-day trips, I'll take their 3-day trip, you know, like that's a win. I'm taking 2 extra days off your schedule, and you're just taking 1, and the 1-day trip that I had was on September 5th, so they would have still been able to have the long holiday weekend off. Well, I also put a post in this like swap group that we have, and the same person, lo and behold, that I had intentions of wanting to swap with responded like, hey, like, I have Santiago. And I'm thinking like, yo, that's perfect. So, you know, we were supposed to swap, and then I go and look at the rotation again, and this person's name is not there anymore. So I am a little peed off, because I'm like, yo, really? Like, I had already planned out this trip to go to Santiago. We had packed our bags and everything. So then I'm like, dang, man, like, what are we gonna do now? So then I realized that the trip had been assigned to someone on reserve on their A days. And I was like, oh, I just saw a Delta plane and I just got pumped for a minute, because no, I'm very proud. I love my job. So anyway, so back to this, guys. So then I'm like, okay, so the girl posted a trip, and she's like, what did she say? She said swap for your international. And I'm thinking like, I don't have an international, but maybe she'll take my turn, and my turn is on a completely different day. It's my one-day trip. I'm like, it's on a completely different day, so, you know, we'll be able to swap it out, and she'll be able to have off the holiday weekend, and I'll be able to go to Santiago. But then in the back of my head, y'all, I'm like, this is still a reserved trip. That means that I could be pulled from this trip. I could, you know, if the operation needs me, anything could happen. So I just stepped out on faith, because, you know, we really wanted to go to Santiago, and I swapped her. She took my turn, which I had a turn tomorrow. But for legalities, with reserve days, you have to have certain type of rest. I was able to give her the turn, and uh-oh, my camera's starting to get a little sensitive. Hold up. No, let's not do that. Let's not shake. It gets so windy up here. It's wild. So I swap her, and I'm just gonna speed up. That worked out really, really well, y'all. She had the A position, so I was the flight leader. I had 2 people in first class, y'all. 2 going over there. We had 40 passengers in the back, so that was really like a dream flight. Those don't happen often. I remember when I first started flying, you know, we would have flights here and there where it was like very empty in the back. So it's, you know, it's nice because you can really take your time to give, not that you don't take your time any other time to give customer service, but sometimes if it's so packed, you feel like you gotta quickly get through, and you don't have the time that, okay, motorcycles are going through super loud, but you feel like you just kind of rushed and pressed for time. So it was great there. I was actually the only female on an all-male crew. That was my first all-male crew, and they were phenomenal. Man, I learned so much. I don't do a lot of Caribbean, you know, like I don't typically do the Caribbean layovers-ish, aside from San Juan. I don't do the turns, but now I'm really excited to start doing those, which means I'll be flying. Is that Delta again? Hey, Delta! I'll be flying on a JFK more, and I'm just really excited. I'm really like expanding and growing in my career with the amazing company that I work for. So I'm sorry, y'all, it's probably gonna be another long video because I have so much to run my mouth about. So yeah, I'm just excited. I had a great crew. I mean, like the pilots going over, the pilot and the first officer, like I was literally the only female. They kept saying, there goes the queen, there goes the queen. I was like, yes, slay my life, yes, honey. So they were amazing. So now going over there, phenomenal. I mean, I had 2 people in first class, and one was actually my boo, so it was nice to be able to serve her first class meal and, you know, get her a drink and all that good stuff. And, you know, my co-workers and I, even though we had a small flight, like small passenger count, we still just like took really amazing care of everyone. Like just like did major trash walks and making sure people, do you need another drink, like do you want, you know, another snack, just making sure people were happy and comfortable. And they were like super duper easy, just really grateful and happy. And a lot of people had like almost like a row to themselves, you know what I mean? So they were just so happy about that. So let's speed up. If you're on my snap, then you guys know I had a beautiful layover, had a wonderful time, okay? But we're gonna speed it up to coming home. So not the flight itself. My passengers, absolutely amazing. Crew, still great. Y'all, the thing to think about when you are becoming a flight attendant, a lot of you want to become a flight attendant because you want to travel. Now, when you travel, no matter what airline it's with, it's called non-repping. And we talked about that before. I'm not going to get into all of that, but it's based on your seniority date. So, man, my seniority date is February 16th, 2015. So, we were looking, and my fiance had always been number 1 on the list. Then I saw a family of 5 list last night. And then before that, like, all these people started popping up because, you know, I'm sure it is very, like, you know, airline specific, but man, people were just listing like out of nowhere. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we are not exactly freaking out, but almost there. So I was like, babe, like, let's look into the JetBlue loads. So I hit up actually one of my subscribers, as well as one of my friends that works for the airline that I work for, because she knows some people at JetBlue, and I wanted to get the passenger counts to make sure, like, it makes sense to try to put her on that flight, because, you know, we have the partnerships with other airlines or whatever. So it was one of those things where the flight was leaving at 4:53, and then the flight that I worked this morning was leaving at 6:15. So I was like, okay, babe, we're gonna just put you on the 4:53. We're gonna try to see if you'll make it. Y'all, like, when my friend first sent me the screenshot, it was 8 people on standby. By the time I listed my fiance for JetBlue this morning, I think she was number 25, 26, 27, something like that, the late 20s. And the seats were just not looking great. So I was like, oh man, what are we gonna do? So I started looking more and more at the seats for the company that I work with, and I was like, okay, it looks like things were kind of like unfolding and expanding. So even though my fiance had already left for the airport, I was like, I like sent her a text. I was like, babe, it looks good. You know, I checked her in because we get a certain number of high priorities per year, and you know, we travel enough that we space them out. So we typically don't need to use them, but today I used that higher priority, and I got there. We talked to the gate agents and the guys that I worked with. They always do that flight. Like, you know, they all loved my fiance, the captain. He's like, okay, we're gonna, like, you know, they obviously can't like pull major strings or anything like that, but it was just like, let's talk to the gate agent, let's see. And the gate agent was like, okay, she's number 2 on the list. So at that point, she's like, okay, I have like 4 seats. And then people started changing their priority, so they would go higher than her. She ended up being number 3, and she did not get a first class seat. There were 2 first class seats and 1 in comfort, 2 in comfort plus. We don't care where we sit. I was just so grateful that she made the flight. So that was like our non-rev scare today. It's never been that bad. And you know, we were just thinking, like you see the numbers and you're just sitting there like, hope I make this flight, because like everything out of Santiago was super negative. And you know, we prayed this morning, and I just was feeling like in my heart, I was like, you know, the God that we serve, no matter what, is gonna let his will be done, whether that meant another day in Santiago or that meant she made that flight. So we were just very grateful for that. So okay, so we've talked about my 8-day trip, which I just got released. So on the last day of the 8 days, is that American Airlines? Hey, American. So on the last day, I'm able to call at 5 o'clock to get a release. So I'm actually released. So now I want to talk to you guys about applying for a flight attendant position, okay? Many of you, it's been your dream, like since you were a kid, or now that you're deciding that this is something that you want to do, and maybe your family is not like supportive or whatever. But I was talking to somebody earlier today on Instagram in the DM, because you know it really goes down in the DM, because some people don't like to comment down below, but it goes down in the DM. And she was like, you know, some people have so much negative stuff to say about being a flight attendant, but you're always so positive. And I was like, girl, I said, people have something negative to say about everything. If you just sit back and listen, people are so negative and they complain about everything. So I'm not surprised that they complain about, you know, oh, flight attendant is this, it's that, whatever. Like, whatever. People are just complaining. But I want to talk to y'all about this. Imagine if the company that you were interested in working for, this is your dream company. Like, you know, you're of age, you're 21, you got a passport, your resume is on point, you know, you got your references in order, you have your job history, you have this great attitude, and you're like, yes, it's my time. But then you're like, oh, but I'm an introvert, like, I don't know if I should apply, like, what should I do? Would this job be good enough for me? Would this work for me? Let me tell you guys that you may not believe this, but I am like largely part introvert. Like, it's, you may not believe that, but like, that's why YouTube really works for me, because I'm just here by myself and I'm talking to you. But this job is what you make it. No matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert or a vert, like, no matter what, this job is for everyone. There is something for everyone. If you are a freaking introvert and you only want to go lay over in, I don't know, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because you want to go get your cheese and read your books, hunty, those Milwaukee layovers are out there and your coworkers will appreciate you. Now, what I want to talk to you about, like, let's really get down to it. If the company that you were interested in working for, let's say, open up their applications tomorrow, September 5th, they open up their application, but you didn't feel ready. Let's say they only opened it up for 24 hours. This is hypothetical. And then it closed. Then you found out that they were going to do a hiring freeze and they weren't going to hire for the next 2 years. How would you feel? What would you feel? Would you be disappointed? Let's say you're already a flight attendant with another airline, but the company, like your dream company, opened up their application. Would you not apply? Would you say, well, you know, I'm a flight attendant with another airline, they're not going to hire me? Or what if you've never been a flight attendant and you're like, you know what? They're not going to hire me because I don't have any flight attendant experience. How would you feel if you never tried? If you never try, you'll never know. Like Aaliyah's song said, if at first you don't succeed, you dust yourself off and you try again. I'm going to tell y'all because, like I said, if I can keep it real with you, I want you to thumbs up this video right now. I want you to share it. I want you to tell a friend to come here, because this is like one-stop shopping, baby. Like, if you want the truth, you're gonna get it here. If you want the facts, like about this job, you're going to get it here. And I'm just telling y'all, stop doubting yourselves. Stop saying, you know, well, I have a baby that's 7 months old and I just don't know if this job is good for me. If there's a will, there's a way. If when you wake up, this is what you think about. If when you go to sleep, this is what you think about. If this is fulfilling your heart's desire, like, you have one life. Tomorrow is not promised. You know, like, I'm here today and God could call me home tomorrow, and then you guys will have all of my videos to watch for hopefully ever, and to get this information. But I just want to give you guys my positive energy. I'm pushing it. You feel it, right? You feel it? Bring it all in, bring it in, wrap it around you, and just go for it, baby. Let me tell you something. I never thought that walking away from being a nanny and becoming a flight attendant, I never thought twice about it, really. There was a difference in the money, but when I think about the satisfaction I get in helping people and I just saw a bug. I don't really do too well with bugs. But when I think about the satisfaction that I get in, like, my coworkers that I just work with on this flight, they're like, you know, like, you're really amazing. Like, you know, you are the reason this job is here. Like, you're compliant. You have a great attitude. You're patient with people. You know, I did a flight where primarily the passengers speak Spanish, and I speak un poquito. Like, I can understand, I know what they're saying to me. I don't quite know how to respond, but I use the words that I do know to communicate. They thought, you know, the passengers thought I was Dominican. They like, oh, are you Panamanian? Like, they thought I was Spanish, so they were trying to communicate with me, and I was just being very patient with them. And if I did preacher passenger in my first class that did not speak any Spanish when I was manifesting my meals. I asked my coworker to come and translate for me. Like, I just really took my time. But in closing, I just want to say this to you guys. If this is all you want to do, and you meet the minimum requirements, because it's not a lot, I need you guys to also stop asking questions that the answer is there. You know, the answer is there. Like, if it says this is the requirements, don't say, oh, do I need a passport? Like, come on. Like, that's why, you know, I'm just saying, I keep it real, and I'm not here to hurt any feelings. I'm here to help you fulfill your dreams. And y'all, I'm just gonna say, like, God put this on my heart to do this video today, because I didn't plan on filming. Like, I'm tired, y'all, and I'm just I have this pimple coming in on the side of my face. Like, I am just yeah, I feel like you know, but I'm so grateful to be here and to be you know, in sync with you guys and talking to you and just giving you that love and that motivation. But I will say this, y'all, if you don't try, you cannot be mad at anyone but yourself. I encourage each of you on this very Labor Day to put in some labor, to make sure your resume is on point, to make sure that you have your references together, to make sure that you have your job history, make sure that everything is on point, so that if that job does open up for you, you're ready to apply. And you know, I'm always gonna be here, but don't ask me a question that you can easily find the answer to. And in the meantime, in between time, y'all know how we do. We stay beautiful, because that's all we can do. We can be ugly, but we don't want to be ugly. You don't want to be ugly in here, you know? Keep everything good. So stay beautiful from the inside to the out, and you let your light shine. And I love you guys so much. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys soon in my next video. Bye.